What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to tell you the story about the nightmarish events that have happened with this Nissan Sentra SR. So this car has given us so many issues since we've gotten it, and mainly to do with the paint. Let me explain what's been going on with this car, guys. As you guys can see right here, spot number 1 along the door, the rear passenger door. Look how bad this is, guys. And then as we pan around to the front here, as you guys can see, it's even started to rust on the roof, and of course you want to take care of that so that there's no holes in the roof. And this goes all the way across. So to repair this, we're gonna have to remove the whole windshield. Let me pan around to the other side. Check this out, guys. Here's another spot here, and just small little spots all over the car. Even as we open the trunk, you can see here there are multiple spots of paint chipping off all around, even on this side as well. It's nuts. Among the paint issues that we've had with this car, there's been several other issues. One of the other issues that we've faced so far is a bad AC compressor. Just to put this into context, this car is only about 5-6 years old. So for an AC compressor to go bad in that short of a time on a brand new car, it's pretty surprising. Not only that, one of the main issues with the Nissan Sentra SR, especially this year, is a CVT transmission. And believe it or not, this one has given us issues as well. This car has been such a headache, guys. Honestly, I'm starting to think this car might be a lemon. From the paint stripping, to the transmission breaking, to the AC compressor not working. That's 3 big fixes that we've had to do in this car. And it's actually kind of disheartening, to be honest with you. So we're currently on our way to drop the Sentra off to get painted. And the reason why we're getting it painted so quickly is because, as you guys can see from these rust spots, we really don't want to get a hole in the roof, and that's exactly what will happen if we leave this car unpainted. So we're here today at MAACO of Lauderhill. This is where we're going to be getting the Nissan Sentra repainted. So hopefully the next time we pick this car up, it will look a lot different. We're going to make our way back to the house now, and I'll explain to you guys everything else that has been going on with this car. So like I stated earlier, I'm going to share with you guys the issues that we've had with this Nissan Sentra since purchasing it. Now unfortunately, we've had so many issues with the Nissan Sentra. The first is the paint that you guys have seen, secondly the AC compressor, and thirdly the transmission. Might I remind you, in 2014 this was a brand new car, fresh off the lot, no previous owners. It is now 2021, and we've been dealing with these issues for at least 4 years now at this point. Probably about 2 years after purchasing the car, we started to notice these issues. About 2 years after purchasing the Nissan Sentra, we noticed that the paint on the roof started stripping. You wouldn't expect the paint on a brand new car, which at 2 years old, that's pretty much to me still a brand new car. You wouldn't expect the paint on a brand new 2-year-old car to start to strip already. It was just so mind-boggling to me. I couldn't understand why. I even thought that maybe it was something that we did to the car, but we really never did anything. We washed it, we waxed it. We never even took the car to one of those drive-through car washes. We've literally hand washed it every single time. So we couldn't really understand why the paint started stripping so badly. After a little while, noticing the random spots that the paint was stripping on, we started to do our research, and we thought, well, maybe this is something a little bit deeper. So let me explain to you guys what we found after doing this research. So what we have here on the screen behind me is a class action lawsuit against Nissan in regards to Nissans with pearl white paint jobs. Go figure, right? So what this lawsuit basically states is that a settlement has been struck which, if approved, will resolve claims that the paint on Nissan and Infiniti vehicles peels prematurely. You guys see where I'm going with this? Alright, check it out. The settlement awaits final approval by the court. So fast forward, this basically got approved. Now let me show you guys what the end result of this lawsuit was. So it says here, owners of Nissan Rogue and Infiniti QX56 vehicles may be eligible to recover reimbursement and other benefits related to white paint peeling. White paint peeling. That Nissan Sentra outside is pearl white. It continues to say a little bit more, and it basically says the Nissan Rogue class action lawsuit argued that the plaintiffs and other vehicle owners would not have purchased the cars if they had known the paint would need to be replaced. I should actually mention that we purchased this car in 2015, the beginning of 2015, so not even 2014. It sat at the dealership for about a year before being purchased, which means that the time between when we purchased the car and when it started to peel was even shorter. It sat on the lot for about a year. However, the paint still started to peel prematurely. Now here's the issue. Now as you guys can see, now Nissan has basically said that, hey, there's an issue with the paint, right? Although they never accepted any wrongdoing, they did settle. Apparently the cost to litigate was just more than to just pay out and reimburse owners who have faced this issue. Hearing all of this, the first thing that we did was call Nissan to try to get some type of help, right? See if they could also paint the Sentra out there.
Well, basically, long story short, after speaking with them and going back and forth, they basically told me there was nothing they could do and that I was out of luck. So, which leads us to now having to get it painted ourselves. Now, here's my dilemma. Nissan is clearly aware that there's an issue with their paint, specifically pearl white paint jobs. That Sentra that's sitting out there has a pearl white paint job and is starting to peel prematurely. I've also seen other Sentras, the same here, have the same issues as well. So all of that leads me to asking this question. If Nissan knows that the pearl white paint job on some of their vehicles is defective and is a manufacturer's defect, then why wouldn't the manufacturers cover the expenses to fix all of these cars that are suffering from this manufacturer's defect? Why should it fall on the consumer to now have to fix this manufacturer's defect? Why fix some of the vehicles but not all of the vehicles? It doesn't seem fair for the consumer to have to now take on that expense of fixing an issue that's a manufacturer's defect. Now I get it, a lot of people have said, well, the reason why Nissan won't fix this issue is because, well, basically it would just cost way too much. And I understand it, I get it. However, my rebuttal to that argument is that it's still not fair or ethical for a consumer to have to fix a manufacturer's defect. If you think about it, many automakers face recalls each year, whether it be American vehicles, German vehicles, Japanese vehicles, all of them have faced recalls, and basically the consumers have to bring their cars back in to get the recall issue fixed, and boom, they're on their way. That costs the manufacturer money. It's the same thing essentially. So basically, guys, that was really the first issue that we had to deal with, the first headache. Now you would think it would stop there, but unfortunately it did not. It did not stop there. The headaches did not stop. I wish they would have, but they unfortunately did not. Like I mentioned before, another issue that we had with the Nissan Sentra was the transmission. The transmission started to slip all the time, like around 70 to 75 miles per hour on the highway. Street driving, it never really did it. It wasn't, or maybe it did, it just wasn't really that noticeable. But on the highway, it was very, very noticeable. It was so bad that if you were trying to accelerate from 70 miles per hour to go faster, maybe to pass somebody or anything of that sort, the car would literally not go any faster. The transmission would just slip. You would just see the RPM gauge just revving and revving and revving, and finally it would catch. The car would not go any faster than 70 miles per hour, 75 miles per hour. For some weird reason, I don't know why, and I'm not even going to question it, it has seemed as though the car has kind of fixed itself, because we haven't noticed that issue within the last few months. Really weird. It was an intermittent issue to begin with in the first place, and now we haven't noticed it. I really don't know what's been going on with it. It's so mind-boggling. This car literally has thrown me for a loop in every single way. But let me explain what has happened with the transmission. The transmission issue is a lot like the paint issue when trying to deal with Nissan and trying to come to some type of resolution to fix this issue, this another manufactured defect on this Nissan Sentra. Let me explain what I'm talking about, guys. So in front of me here is another class action lawsuit against Nissan in regards to the CVT transmission. However, here's the difference, guys. With the paint, I knew that the Sentra wasn't covered under that lawsuit. It was specifically for the Nissan Rogue and the Infiniti QX56. However, this lawsuit is specifically for the Nissan Sentra, and specifically for that year Nissan Sentra. Let me explain. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So this now reads that a settlement has been reached in a class action lawsuit against Nissan North America, commonly known as NNA, regarding continuously variable transmission, or otherwise known as CVT transmissions, in model year 2013 to 2017 Nissan Sentra. And it also goes into the Nissan Versa Note, Nissan Versa vehicles, yada yada yada. Although Nissan now knows that there's an issue with the CVT transmissions and there's now a settlement to change them if they're defective, it says here NNA denies any wrongdoing. Now I understand that it's possible that the manufacturer just didn't know that the transmission would fail prematurely. And we received the letter in the mail because, you know, if you're a Nissan Sentra owner, they send you this letter in the mail. When we received the letter, we automatically call them. You know, they asked us about the car, how many miles were on the car, so on and so forth. Here's where things got a little bit hairy. Basically, we called them, and by the time Nissan sent out this notice saying that there was an issue, and they were basically admitting that there was an issue with the CVT transmission on the Sentra, the car had been now at about 120,000 miles. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, the car is so new. It was only purchased in 2015. How do you have 120,000 miles? You wouldn't really think that would be an issue, right? here's the problem. I reached out to Nissan in about late 2019 to try to get these issues fixed on the Sentra, and unfortunately they were basically no help, because at that point the car had already surpassed the 90,000 mile mark. Now here's the thing, is that the average American driver drives their car about 10,000 miles per year, based on a study that I saw a long time ago. It might be more now, it might be less, I'm not exactly sure. Here's the thing though, that's just based on an average. Other people drive their cars way more, because depending on where you work, depending on how you use your car, there's so many variables to account for. You really just can't chalk it up based on something like that, you know what I mean? It was really just that main car that we used to run around. We actually noticed this issue way before 80,000 miles. We actually noticed this issue at around 40 and 50,000 miles. And service records show that we actually went to the Nissan dealership to get the car serviced and made them aware that there was an issue with the CVT. They said they drove it and they didn't find any issues. However, the service records still show and indicate that we made them aware that there was an issue. Therefore, we were having this issue way before 80,000 miles. Problem is that this lawsuit wasn't settled until the car had now reached beyond 80,000 miles. I made Nissan aware of that fact, that we've been having this issue. We told them, we explained to them, we went to the service center, we went to the local dealership. Still, they were no help. These are the issues that I face with Nissan. Now, I want everybody out there to know that I'm a huge Nissan fan. I love Nissans. I think Nissan makes some of the greatest cars. I love R32 GTRs, R33 GTRs, R34 GTRs, R35 GTRs, 1970 Skylines, 240Zs, 280Zs, 350Zs. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I think Nissan makes some great cars. However, this issue that we're facing with the Sentra has really left a bad taste. So basically what I'm trying to say is this. If Nissan North America knew that there were manufacturer defects with these vehicles, then I think the right and ethical thing to do would be to fix these issues on all of the vehicles and not just some. So with that being said, guys, if you guys experience an issue like this with Nissan, if you have a Sentra or any other vehicle, Nissan vehicle with peeling paint, and you've experienced this, let me know in the comments below. Were you stuck fixing it on your own, or was Nissan North America any help? I'm really interested to find out. I really hope in the future that the vehicles that Nissan releases won't have any of these issues. But without further ado, guys, let me show you guys what the Nissan Sentra currently looks like. Welcome back, guys. It's a new day and we're heading to get the Sentra. It's about a week later, a little bit over a week. Alright guys, so we just pulled up here at MAACO of Lauderhill. I am nervous to see the car. I always get nervous when we're doing things like this, but without further ado, let me go inside, handle some business, and then let's bring the car out, show you guys what it looks like. Guys, so we just picked up the Sentra. Here it is, right behind me. It looks so much better now, guys. Check this out. So much better. Huge shout out to the guys over here at MAACO. They did a fantastic job with this car. Looks so much better. As you guys can see, no more imperfections in the paint. The roof is so much better now. Huge shout out to them. So as you guys saw, the paint from MAACO looks amazing. I'm really happy with the outcome of the Sentra. It looks so much better now than it did before. As you guys can see, there's no more rust on the roof. The side panel is now all one color. There's no more peeling and stripping paint. It looks so much better. All the little imperfections throughout the body are now all taken care of. There are no more dings and dents on the hood. No more issues with the front bumper. Everything looks amazing. We did choose to ditch the pearl white and just go with this enamel white. We actually did that because matching pearl is super hard. And on this car, it tended to get a little bit yellow and discolored in a way. So we went ahead and just decided to ditch it all together. I think it looks so much better like this though. So the cost to paint the Sentra and get everything done was a little bit over $1,100. If we were to go anywhere else, it would have been probably 2 to 3 times that much. So I'm really happy with the outcome of the Sentra. It looks amazing. Also, another cool thing to mention is that MAACO has a 4-year pro prorated warranty with this, so if anything happens with the paint within the next 4 years, I can always just take it back and get it resprayed by them. If it starts to fade, peel, bubble, which I hope it doesn't, fingers crossed, I can always just take it back to them and get it taken care of. It's hard to kind of see. There is a little bit of overspray right here, but not to worry. I talked to them. They're going to take care of all of that. I'm going to bring it back next Tuesday once the paint hardens a little bit, and then they're going to take care of all of that. Guys, I should also mention that the Sentra hasn't even been buffed or wet sanded or finished as yet. That's an additional service that MAACO offers. I opted not to go for it, but I could imagine that if we were to go ahead and do that, it would look so much cleaner, almost like a mirror finish. But I think it looks great the way that it is right now. Guys, once again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to MAACO Lauderhill and Israel for taking care of me. The car looks amazing. Thank you guys. Would definitely recommend you guys. And just like that, guys, we've reached the end of today's video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.